Let's take a look at what Donald Trump has been posting, saying, emailing. Let's compare it to what President Biden has been posting and saying and the speeches that he's been giving, because the contrast cannot be more stark. Look, Donald Trump wants to try to push President Biden out of this race. I think Donald Trump recognizes that Biden will beat him because despite all of the media propaganda out there, I think Americans want someone who is decent. They want normalcy. They want someone who cares about our democracy. And I think Americans realize who's actually delivering for them and who's just talking about themselves. Like, take a look. This is what Donald Trump's been emailing to those on his listserv. So I'm on it so you don't have to be. Donald Trump writes, "Would you put me on Mount Rushmore?" That's the email that he sends to his supporters. "Would you put me on Mount Rushmore? In honor of this beautiful holiday, I've got a question that I want to ask true Trump patriots, not American patriots, true Trump patriots." He says, like Ben, and he goes, "Am I the greatest president in American history? Respond to Trump. I hope to read every response before the fireworks. Please submit your response below." Then Don Jr. emails immediately after and goes, "Is there anything you want to say to my dad? The Trump family loves Ben, especially my father. He talks about you all the time. Through every single indictment, hoax, raid, arrest, and witch hunt, it's your patriotic support that keeps him going." Like, how does anybody actually fall for this crap? The Trump family loves Ben, especially my father. He talks about you all the time. Like, the MAGA people actually believe this stuff. And what are they even talking about? I love you? What in the world? How about this one? Have you seen this? Official Trump merch. Have you seen the official Trump Gold USA flag pin yet? Yeah, we see it. You email it 5 times a day for people to buy this silly pin for, and frankly, traitorous pin for $1,000. This is my most popular item, and it's the American flag with Trump's name on it. Should I be on Mount Rushmore? Trump's name on the flag, saying that my daddy loves you. What in the world is going on here? Or how about this one? I want to give you a call. We've got a lot to talk about. Here it is. I just got word that my rigged sentencing will be delayed. And before I speak to any of my advisors, I want to hear from you, Ben. This is our best shot to kill the illegal prosecutions before they go any further. Please respond to Trump today. And by the way, there's a reason why he uses language like best shot and kill illegal prosecutions, because he is trying to, and he is priming his MAGA violent supporters for more violence. That's what Trump's saying compared to what President Biden is saying and doing. President Biden goes, a record 15.7 million jobs created during my administration. Today's jobs report shows that 206,000 new jobs were created last month and a record 15.7 million jobs created during my administration. Yes, we have more work to do, but wages are growing faster than prices, and we're seeing the highest share of working age Americans in the workforce in generations. President Biden also writes, Jill and I were honored to host military families at the White House this Independence Day. We'll never be able to repay you for your sacrifice, but I give you my word as a Biden, I'll keep doing everything in my power to care for you and your loved ones. You want to talk about legislation? The PACT Act. Over 1 million claims from disabled veterans who needed life-saving care that they would potentially have died but for the PACT Act being pushed and passed and put into law by President Biden. 1 million claims filed. That's President Biden actually delivering for our veterans, the same way he's lowered prescription drug prices, the way he's opened access to affordable health care, the way he's protected Social Security and Medicare. So President Biden actually doing things. On the other hand, what has Donald Trump been doing? Well, we've got some leaked footage of him. During a July 4th Zoom call with veterans, Donald Trump tries to take credit for Veterans' Choice, which he had nothing to do with. Here, play this clip.
Doing our country. That's what they're doing. And our military, we do, as you know, we did choice, Veterans' Choice, where for our VA, where we had the highest rating that I think that anybody's ever had. We were at 92%. Now it's back down into the 40s again, but we had Veterans' Choice.
So during his July 4th speech, Donald Trump says that the military leaders are too woke. Play this clip.
Capability. This all happened over the last 3.5 years. And we're going to straighten things out. We're going to straighten them out fast. So between the borders open and the military that they let go to hell. And by the way, we don't have a woke military. We have some woke people.
We do a lot every day, and typically at night, I need something to wind down. But I'm sick of all the calories, nasty hangovers, bloating, and other negative health implications that can come with having a glass of wine before bed. That's why I'm obsessed with Sol's new out-of-office THC gummies. Perfectly microdosed to get you blissed, not blitzed. This podcast is sponsored by Sol. Sol's new out-of-office gummies are perfectly microdosed with hemp-derived THC and CBD to give any day that chillin' on the beach vibe. I can't believe I didn't know you could buy THC products online like this. Did you know you can now buy hemp-derived THC products in all 50 states? The out-of-office gummies help you get that much-needed me time at the end of the day or during the day. They're convenient and delicious. Out-of-office gummies give you that warm, fuzzy, euphoric microdosed feeling without sending you to the moon. You could go for a jog, watch your favorite TV show, or head out to a party. Whatever floats your boat. Sol's out-of-office gummies have given me the perfect way to chill and maintain my sanity while trying to stay on top of my game and keep my anxious thoughts at bay. Sol was founded 5 years ago by brother and sister duo Mike and Angie Lee. Mike is a former world-ranked professional boxer, and Angie is an author and professional speaker who had the desire to create natural alternatives to medication that tackle problems they deal with themselves, like sleeplessness, anxiety, focus, and pain. And that's not all Sol's got. Whether you're looking for a sleep aid, enhanced focus, or pain relief, Sol has all your wellness needs covered. And Sol's products are grown right here in the USA, organically farmed and gluten-free. So give Sol a try. Head to getsol.com and use code Meidas for 30% off your order. That's 30% off your order using code Meidas, MEIDAS. One last time, that's getsol.com and code Meidas for 30% off.
What is Donald Trump doing as well? Donald Trump is also posting that he doesn't know anything about Project 2025, and he expects us to believe that. I mean, your top advisor is the leader of Project 2025. You praised him and the other drafter of Project 2025. Your press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, cuts ads for Project 2025. Your super PAC does ad after ad after ad about Project 2025. All of the Project 2025 policies to try to turn our country into a fascist state you talk about, but here he is lying. How do you know Trump is lying? He wakes up out of bed. That's how you know, because all Trump knows how to do is lie. Here's his post right here saying that he doesn't have anything to do with Project 2025. I know nothing about it. He says, I have known nothing about Project 2025. I have no idea who's behind it. I disagree with some of the things they're saying, and some of the things they're saying are absolutely ridiculous and abysmal. Anything I do, I wish them luck, but I have nothing to do with it. Really, you have nothing to do with it because there are posts with you praising the leader of Project 2025. There are many posts with you saying that you think, here it is, Kevin Roberts, the highly respected president of the Heritage Foundation, was a smart and wonderful guest as interviewed by Pete Hegseth on Fox and Friends. Keep going, Kevin. Get the word out about Project 2025. That's what the guy's talking about. Here's another interview with Kevin Roberts where he talks about leading a revolution against the United States of America, which will be bloodless, he says, if the left lets them. Play this clip.
We're in the process of taking this country back. No one in the audience should be despairing. No one should be discouraged. We ought to be really encouraged by what happened yesterday. And in spite of all of the injustice, which of course friends and audience of this show, of our friend Steve know, we are going to prevail. Number two, to the point of the clips and of course your preview of the fact that I am an early American historian and love the Constitution, that Supreme Court ruling yesterday on immunity is vital. And it's vital for a lot of reasons, but I would go to Federalist number 70 if people in the audience are looking for something to read over Independence Day weekend, in addition to rereading the Declaration of Independence. Read Hamilton's number 70, because there, along with some other essays, he talks about the importance of a vigorous executive. You and I have both been parts of faculties and faculty senates and understand that the left has taken over our institutions. The reason that they are apoplectic right now, the reason that so many anchors on MSNBC, for example, are losing their minds daily is because our side is winning. And so I come full circle in this response and just want to encourage you with some substance that we are in the process of the Second American Revolution, which will remain bloodless if the left allows it to be.
And the Heritage Foundation posted that as well, that they are leading a revolution against the United States of America. By the way, here's Donald Trump praising Kevin Roberts at a recent speech as well. Play this clip.
Your organization is named the Heritage Foundation because you understand that our glorious heritage is the foundation of everything we hope to achieve, which is why we need the help of the Heritage Foundation and everyone here tonight to get our tax cuts through the House, through the Senate.
Yeah, and again, Donald Trump's senior advisors work for the Heritage Foundation, praises the Heritage Foundation. Oh, let me show you this one. This is Kevin Roberts also saying, I'll do a whole nother hot take on this, but saying that none of this would be possible if it wasn't for Donald Trump. Play this clip.
We want no credit. We want the American people, if President Trump is elected again, President Trump and his administration, to take credit for that. But it will also be a great sign if all of this is successful, that in fact, as we know in our prayer time, but maybe not every time when we're watching the news, that the Lord is still smiling upon America.
I'm telling you, everything this guy says is a freaking lie. All he knows how to do is lie. And then you have the corporate media goes, well, we're going to have to fact check you if you call him out, MeidasTouch, because Trump said he doesn't know what Project 2025 is. So I guess we're going to have to do a fact check. Yeah, he lies about everything. I'm showing you the clips of him with the guy all the time. That is, people run Project 2025. How about you use a modicum of intelligence, corporate media? Oh, but you're not going to do that because you're pushing a narrative that you want, whether it's for ratings or your own money because you're funded by billionaires and deca millionaires. This is what you want. I get it. Just admit who you are. Hasn't this been such a mask off moment as well for a lot of the media? And by the way, let me just show you this full clip right here of President Biden confronting the media where they're like, whoa, shouldn't you drop out? He's like, no, you're wrong about everything. I'm not dropping out. You're literally wrong about every single thing. Here, play this clip.
Completely ruling that out. Because I've beaten him before and I've gotten more done than any president has.
Have you spoken to members of Congress?
No, but you've been wrong about everything so far. You were wrong about 2020. You were wrong about 2022. We were going to get wiped out. Remember the red wave? You were wrong about 2023. And you said all the tough races, we won them all but two. So, look, we'll see.
Have you spoken to members of Congress?
I have.
Who have you spoken to?
At least 20.
What are they telling you? What are they telling you, sir?
They're telling me to stay in the race.
What about the people who have called for their gathering together to call for you to step aside? I think Senator Mark Warner is one of the people.
Well, Mark Warner, my understanding, is the only one considering that. No one else has called me for that.
Do you value the thoughts of the officials in your policy?
Former President Trump again.
I hope he'll debate me. I wouldn't be surprised
And
if
if
he
he's
was.
in, will you commit to debating him?
I'm committing now, absolutely, whether he's in or not.
Do you value the thoughts of members of your own party when it comes to your decision to stay in the race?
Sure I do. That's why they've said, you guys saw the governors. Every one of them in that room. All those governors said, stay in the race. Laura Haley didn't say anything when I was in the room. Okay?
So will you make changes to your campaign staff at all after the debate?
We're adding, look, we just added another 120 staffers. We have the most extensive staff operation in the states.
And are you pleased with your advisors and how they're seeing you through this moment in your campaign?
Any mistake made is my fault. Thank you.
Are you confident you can serve another 4 years?
I'm positive.
You always talk to young people. You're so committed to talk to young people. Why not let someone younger take the country forward? I just have to ask. Why not let, every CEO has a succession plan.
Well, by the way, you do have succession plans. But what do I need a succession plan for?
Then President Biden gave an incredible speech in Wisconsin, and here's a clip of what he had to say. Play it.
And I and you are not finished yet. Now, you probably also noticed a lot of discussion about my age. I know I look 40. I keep seeing all those stories about I'm being too old. Let me say something. I was too old. I wasn't too old to create over 15 million new jobs. To make sure 21 million Americans are insured under the Affordable Care Act. To beat Big Pharma, the first one ever to do that, and lower the cost of insulin to $35 procedure. Was I too old to relieve student debt for nearly 5 million Americans and grow the economy? Too old to put the first black woman on the Supreme Court of the United States of America? To sign the Respect for Marriage Act? Was I too old to sign the most significant gun safety law in 30 years? To pass the biggest climate bill in the history of the world, not here, the history of the world. But then my critics say, sure, but he did all that. But that was in the past. What about now? Well, how about the 200,000 jobs we announced yesterday? So let me ask you, what do you think? You think I'm too old to restore Roe v. Wade, the law of the land? You think I'm too old to ban assault weapons again? To protect Social Security and Medicare?
One more clip I'll show you from Wisconsin. Play it.
Ultimately, the American presidency is about character. The character of the president who holds the job. Because with the immunities the Supreme Court just talked about, it gets down to that. It gets down to that. It's about honesty. It's about the president's decency, integrity. Do they respect people? Or do they incite violence and hate? Can they honor their oath to the Constitution and uphold their oath of office? Well, I don't think it's an exaggeration to suggest Trump has failed on every one of these character tests. Every one. And what's worse, the Supreme Court has just ruled that there are virtually no limits on the power of the presidency. I know it sounds bizarre, but that's what they ruled. A frightening decision. According to the extreme majority of the Supreme Court, the president is now above the law. We just celebrated the 4th of July, saying we will not be ruled by a king. And this Supreme Court he appointed proved this new law. It's in a dangerous precedent, especially if Donald Trump has returned to the presidency. Just think about it. The second term, this next term, whomever is the president is going to appoint at least 2 new appointees. The second Trump term, where there are no limits. Supreme Court Justice Sotomayor warned us about that in her dissent in that case. Here's it. She noted that based on a majority decision, Trump can take out his opponents, physically take them out, take bribes, lead a coup, and be immune to ever being held accountable for it if he did it while he was president, according to the Supreme Court. I mean, where the hell are we? So he really could become a dictator that he promised to be on day one. For over 2 centuries, America's been a free, democratic nation. And I'll be damned if in the year 2024, just 2 years before our 250th anniversary of as a nation, I'll let Donald Trump take this away. Folks, this is not hyperbole. This race is about our freedom. It's about our democracy. It's about the very soul of America. Are we prepared to fight for that? I know I am, and I will. And folks, I have never been more optimistic about America's future, because the American people are decent, good, honorable. And just remember who in God's name we are. We're the United States of America. I mean, think about it. Think about it in literal terms. And there's nothing beyond our capacity when we stand together. So let's stand together, win this election, and exile Donald Trump politically. God bless you all. May God protect our truth. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Let me know what you think. think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 3 million together. Thanks for watching and have a good one.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.